It's time for News and Brews. Because packaging makes a huge impact in our everyday lives, we need smart solutions to design challenges. That's why we have Westpac correspondent Andrew Crow.
All right, I am E West. We back. We are back here, and now I got a double dose. I got a 2-for-1. We haven't had this yet, so I think this is like groundbreaking. We're about to make history, but this is going to be dope. We're going to get twice the information. We're going to get twice the innovation, and, you know, as much as you guys can take, we're going to give it to you. So what's up to Cory Connors and Mr. Roger Merritt from Orora Packaging Solutions? What's up, fellas?
Hey, Drew, thanks for having us.
Thanks for looking so good up here, too. You guys.
We're trying to follow you.
Man, yo,
Trying to keep up, man.
I heard that, man. Yo, we looking like a team of freshness up here. Watch out, y'all. Watch out. So I just dropped my card. As I drop my card, I'm going to pick this back up. But, gentlemen, tell me a little bit about Orora and what you all do, what you guys feel in our manufacturing industry.
Well, Orora is a global packaging company, basically focusing on sustainable solutions. There are several people in our space, but what we want to do is lead the sustainable future of packaging. So we manufacture, we're actually based in Melbourne, Australia. We do glass. We also do corrugated. We are vertically integrated here in North America. So basically, as our customers' needs grow and develop, we try to provide them with sustainable solutions to help them not only improve their package, but also save the environment as well.
Yeah. As the director of sustainable packaging at Orora, I'm focused on exactly what Roger was saying. What's new? What's the latest innovation? What can we bring to our customers to say, this will solve that problem in a more sustainable way than you're using now?
And we keep saying a word that, you know, some of us know here. Sometimes it goes over people's head.
Yep.
And sometimes it's kind of like terms like, no offense to anybody, but like Industry 4.0, where it's kind of vague, or like digitization. What does that mean? So tell me exactly what sustainability means in terms of the work that you all are doing.
Well, I've interviewed over 250 people on my podcast, and I've asked that question to most of them, and the answer is always different. And I think the reason is because sustainability means something to you differently than it means to Roger, than it means to me, and it means something different to everyone from their perspective. So we have to look at sustainability in a way that, how can we affect the world in a positive way? How can we leave a lower carbon footprint with what we're doing personally or with what we're influencing at our company? And that's what Orora tries to do for our customers, and that's what we try to learn about on my podcast.
I love it. I love it. And you guys don't just use new media to, you know, get opinions and test the market and see things, but you guys are using technology across the board, and you're seeing how the needs of the manufacturers are different, right? So we talked about how traditionally manufacturers would buy packages for the year or for, you know, the next 6 months, which would take up a lot of space that they could otherwise use for money-making endeavors inside of their shops. But now they're doing something different. Now they're wanting to order packaging as soon as that part is done so that they don't have all of that space gone. What are you guys seeing in that realm, and how are you guys helping serve that need?
Well, what's great about Orora Packaging Solutions is we can tailor-make a program for our customers' needs. So for your example, back in the day, they probably bought truckloads of materials, or they buy 6 months' worth. What's great about Orora is what we can do is we can stock and do JIT as they need it. So if our customers are like, hey, I do want to have the value of buying 6 months' worth, but you know what? Why don't you hold it and deliver it to me as I need it? And also what we want to do is drive the sustainable message. So we drive it through packaging equipment, we drive it through packaging materials, but also technical expertise. So we listen to our customers, find out what their value proposition is, but also listen to their sustainability goals and offer a plan that's unique for them that meets all of their goals.
Yeah, allowing our customers to focus on what they're good at, which is making their products, and letting us focus on what we're good at, which is supplying packaging. And we've even had situations where customers were able to put in more lines to make more products and even increase their bottom line because they're not storing packaging like we talked about a few weeks ago.
Agility is crazy, right? And speed to market and being able to test small lines of products is what is helping even mom and pop shops stay alive and find new products that might turn them into a big corporation, right? Mm-hmm. you guys are not just packaging. You guys are doing things like labels different, right? Tell me a little bit about that.
So with labels, I mean, right now we're trying to educate our customers on linerless labels. We think that's a great solution, and we're really hoping to it will take off. So believe it or not, there's billions of labels that are out there, and there's a liner that goes on there. So those of you that aren't familiar with labels, all of the labels go on a liner. Where does that liner go? Guess what? It goes into the landfill. It's 2.4 billion pounds per year of liners that go into that landfill.
Just liners.
Just liners.
God.
Just liners. So imagine taking that out of the waste stream and utilizing linerless labels to help not only have a sustainability impact, but also, I mean, save the landfills. All that won't go in there. The great news is basically we can compete directly with thermal transfer, direct thermal. So a lot of our customers are like, hey, I do want to save the environment, but I want to pay for it. Guess what? You can with linerless labels. It's just a great solution.
It's amazing. Most liners are coated with silicone, which is not very easy to recycle. So you can do it, but you have to have a specialized collection and a specialized recycling facility. That's not, most people aren't going to do that. They're not going to take that extra step. So like Roger's saying, why don't we eliminate it?
That's smart. So another smart thing, we talk about smart manufacturing. We talk about smart machines. We talk about all these things. I think that you all are in a realm of smart packaging. And what I mean by that is you all are marrying automation and data like no other way. Tell me a little bit about what that's allowing you to do, the transparency that's giving you with your customers and their needs, and then how you guys are able to fill needs.
So that's a very large question. There's many ways I can answer that. But for kind of a quick solution is our customers want data. Data drives their business. So how important would that be for them to have a piece of equipment? It could be a stretch wrapper. It could be a flow wrapper. It could be a bagger, whatever it is, that actually has the data about what your uptime is. What's your downtime? How many faults did you have? How many packages did this operator get? Have that all go to I would say the manager, the production manager, so they can analyze the data to see who's working hard, who's not working hard, and how they can maximize their manufacturing output to actually minimize costs. At the end of the day, automation drives out costs of the business.
Yes, and I don't know if this is a word. Stop me if it's not, but is there such thing
I can't wait for this.
Is there such thing as predictive packaging, where they can take that data and say, hey, in these months, our orders are typically a lot higher, so we need to have some, stuff on hand.
We'll call it predictive packaging. I love it. So customers basically predict what their seasonality is going to be and say, hey, Cory, hey, Roger, guess what? In September, I'm going to make 10 million widgets, but in October, I'm making 2.
Yeah.
So help me out. How can I best manufacture these and make it worth my while to save money? So predictive packaging is basically estimates. It's forecasting. It's working with people like Orora to make sure we have the right amount of product at the right amount of time at the right price.
Fantastic. Now tell me about the sizes and the shapes of packaging, right? So I'm a machinist, right? So I come from traditional manufacturing. And right now, we're looking at having additive, where we don't have to start with a huge block that's way bigger than the part that we need to make. And then we're taking 85% of this block and turning it into chips that we can't use for this part. Instead, we're saying, hey, let's 3D print something that is close to our final piece, and we're not wasting a lot. And I think that you guys do some custom packaging, right? That you can reduce the amount of a package that is in a person's manufacturing situation. Tell me how that's helping.
I think it's a great lead-in for this, our sustainability lab.
Yeah, so we have a new lab called the Sustainable Design Lab, and we are bringing our customers in to say, let's reduce the packaging to the absolute minimum to where it's still successful, because number one is performance, right? We want to make sure the product gets there safely and it has the shelf life. That's where Roger comes in with his OTR rates and all that. But the absolute minimum material we can use for each item. And that development is incredible. We are seeing major results.
I think that might be the new wave. So speaking of new wave, before we wrap this up, we've got a new wave of manufacturers right in front of us. We've got people that are coming into the industry, and they might be interested in getting into packaging. They might be interested in, diving deeper and learning about smart packaging and predictive packaging. How can they learn more? How can they tailor their efforts into what's coming with this field?
So I would say the best thing to do is education. That's the best thing to do. Through Cory's podcast, you can learn about sustainable packaging. You can go on AuroraPackagingSolutions.com and learn about all of our solutions. But the more you know, the better off you'll be. And my advice to the young packaging experts out there is always be curious. Ask the questions why. Because packaging is a bunch of old dudes like us. And we've been doing things the same way a certain amount of time.
For yourself.
So, yeah. I'm sorry. I'll speak for myself. So if someone says this is the way we've done it, challenge them and say why. And then you'll come up with brand new solutions, and before you know it, you'll be the expert, and they'll be relying on you for your expertise.
Yeah, and spend time on the floor working with people that are actually producing packaging. I spent my first 5 years in a corrugated mill making boxes, which is where I got my nickname Corrugated. But it's an important step to learn how the things actually go through the machines, how they are actually made physically.
So I think what you're telling them is to think outside the box.
Or inside.
Or inside the box, too.
Yeah. So tell me more about the podcast. Tell me about Sustainable Packaging Podcast. You talked a little bit about your goals. Are there any guests that you're excited about coming up? What types of conversations are you having, and how are we pushing the needle forward?
Yeah, the podcast is, like I said, Sustainable Packaging Podcast with Cory Connors. We've done about 250 episodes. It is becoming more and more global, which I'm really excited about. I've got guests from around the world, because what I'm learning is that the people in Europe are doing the sustainable thing before the people in America sometimes, and we need to learn from them on what to do and maybe what not to do. We've had some guests on that have said, don't do this. This doesn't work. We tried it here in the UK, and it wasn't successful. But it's taken off, and it's been really fun to be a part of that.
That sounds like it's something that's really exciting to not only do, but to be learning and applying it every day when you go into work. That's amazing. What's next from Orora? What can we expect?
Well, I was going to say more sustainable solutions. So the more sustainable we can be for our customers, the better off they'll be in the long run. And I really think what we're doing is a competitive advantage for Orora, because what we're doing, no one else is doing. But also we're going to drive innovation and automation. The more we can drive costs out of our customers' business, I think the more value we can bring.
Well, there we go. So when we eliminate costs, we're bringing value. When we eliminate the amount of packaging and the type of packaging, the time of packaging, then we create even more value, open up those margins for you, and we're saving the world at the same time. Any closing thoughts, gentlemen?
Well, I think you hit it on the head. We're saving the world. No one thought a packaging company can do it, but guess what? Orora can.
Let's get it.
And we need your help. Communicate with us. Tell us what your issues are, what problems you're having, what solutions you need, and maybe if you have ideas, reach out to me and Roger and our team. We'll work on them with you.
Well, there you have it. Thank you all for joining me.
Great. Thank you, Drew.
Stay tuned for more from IME West News and Brews.